on the dark web.
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 When you think about the dark web, images of hackers in black hoodies and hitmen for hire tend to come to mind. But this image couldn't be further from the truth. Today, let's explore what actually is the dark web, how does it work, and finally, how can we use it. The dark web is a series of overlay networks. These are built on top of the internet, and instead of connecting directly to the service that we want, we connect through special servers that act as routers for a network. And there are many networks like that. For example, VPNs are one of them, but the biggest one that we are interested in is Tor, the onion routing project. It's free and open source, and it's run by volunteers around the world. As of making this video, there are around 8,000 routers making up this network. Okay, but why do we need all of this? Why would we want to connect to something through additional servers? Well, for privacy. Sending data like that makes it much harder to track. And yes, this will attract bad actors, but there are also people who need this for safety, like journalists and whistleblowers. Okay, but how exactly does Tor work? This chapter will be strictly technical. If you just want to know how to get on the dark web, feel free to skip it. First, let's consider a scenario where you want to connect to a ClearNet site, like google.com. To do that, we will pick 3 random onion routers and establish connections sequentially through them. We will have a separate layer of encryption for each of the routers we connect through, hence the name onion routing, because we have multiple layers of encryption, like an onion or an ogre. Okay, and this protects the user, but what about the server? Websites on Tor are supposed to be very hard to find. Well, the server needs to become a hidden service. Here's where everything gets harder. To do that, the server picks 3 routers to be its introduction points and establishes a long-term circuit to them. Then, the server creates a descriptor containing information about its introduction points and public keys, and it uploads that to a hidden service directory. Now the server is a proper hidden service. Now, when a client wants to connect, it's first gonna download the descriptor from the hidden service directory. Next, the client picks a random node to be the rendezvous point for the connection, connects to it, and gives it a special cookie that will be important later. After that, it creates a circuit to one of the introduction points and gives it information about the rendezvous point and the special cookie. To finalize the connection, the server connects to the rendezvous point and passes the special cookie. If the one given by the client and the server match up, the connection is breached and the server and the client are finally talking. This process is much deeper, and if you're hungry for knowledge, check out my website at simsin.dev. And finally, how do we connect to Tor? Well, first, we'll set up a VM. Why? Well, to stay safe and to make sure that whatever we encounter or download doesn't mess up our main system. To do that, we'll pick a major Linux distribution, so we will be both harder to track and Tor will be easy to set up. I picked Mint, so go to linuxmint.com, click download. I will pick the Cinnamon edition, since I don't really care about the DE in this case. And now use the download source that is closest to you. To check if the file that we downloaded is not corrupted or malicious, we will check its SHA-256 hash. On Linux, use the SHA-256 sum command, and on Windows, in PowerShell, use getFileHash. Now we will check it against the one provided on the website. If those two match up, we are ready to proceed. For that, we'll need a hypervisor, something to create our virtual machines. A good, beginner-friendly option is VirtualBox. You can download it from the official website. Here you can also check the SHA-256 sums for safety. Now that you've installed VirtualBox, we can finally create our VM. Click on Tools, New. I will name the VM Tor. We will pick the location of the ISO we downloaded. We will click to skip unattended installation. I will give it additional memory and CPU cores to work with, so it's faster. And we'll click Finish. We'll click Start and boot into the installation media. After it loads, we'll click on the Install Linux Mint icon. We'll pick a language and click continue. Then we'll pick a keyboard layout. We'll check that we want additional multimedia codecs and click continue. And click install now. And continue. We'll pick our localization and we'll set up our account. After clicking continue, we'll need to wait for a bit. Since this is a VM, it will take a while. After a few minutes, we'll be prompted to restart. We click restart now. We will log in. And now we need to update the system. If you've watched my Linux tutorial, you know sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Since this is a VM, this will again take a while. We'll again reboot. And log in. And now we are finally ready to get on Tor. In Firefox, we'll search up Tor Browser. We'll click on torproject.org. And we'll download the Linux version. We will unpack the downloaded archive. And we'll start the Tor browser setup. And the only thing left to do is to click connect. And voila, there is no jump scare of a hacker here. First we need to know the address of the hidden service that we want to connect to. For that we'll search up hidden wiki. And we can already see Tor anonymize our traffic. In this case it goes through Germany, to the US, to the Netherlands, and finally to DuckDuckGo. Note that the thing we searched up is not the official hidden wiki. That one was taken down years ago, but searching this in Google gives us a list of onion links that we can go and explore. And there are many sites here, most of which are definitely against YouTube guidelines. But the one that I can definitely show you is the Tor version of CIA.gov. And as I said in the technical part of this video, not only am I being anonymized, but also the server on the opposite side is being protected. And that's it. Now you know how Tor works and how to use it. Subscribe!